What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you've been watching recently, you know that I have been working on quite a few collabs with other artists. So I wanted to kind of jump into that this week and show you guys the process of how I come up with ideas and samples to send out to those other artists. So we're just going to jump into FL Studio and let's come up with a sample or a little loop together. Okay, so here we are in FL Studio, and I've just loaded up my blank template project. And I'm just going to load it in my original's cinematic soft piano, and we use that as a starting point for our beat. So now let's try and find some chords. For this, I'm thinking something relatively laid back, maybe not quite sleepy. Okay, that's sounding pretty nice. And from there, I want to add a sort of filler chord in here before the longer chord for this second bar. So let's try an E minor to grab that G and B notes, maybe meet on the G there. So let's grab that B as well. Maybe this. Yeah, that's sounding quite nice with the E minor 7 chord I think we've got there, with the D giving you that 7 note. Let's follow that up with a jump back to our D chord, but I think this time we'll run a D major suspended 4, I think this would be. Okay, that's sounding really nice. And from here, I think what I'd do is duplicate that to give us a 4-bar loop. And then I actually think I'm going to find another chord here in this middle section so that there's 2 chords. And maybe we'll just go back to our D chord. Maybe I want to simplify that. Yeah, let's bring it down. That's sounding really nice. It's a great place to start. So really all we're thinking about here is a simple 4-bar loop. From here, let's add a drone. And if we're in a key of G major, we're going to grab our G and our D. Okay, so we've got a really nice foundation here on the piano. Let's try adding in a second piano line, try and find some sort of a melody or just kind of a background piano. So let's clone our piano and let's try and find some sort of pattern here. And we'll just drop the velocities on those, hide them right in the background. Let's also add some randomizer to that as well. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go back to my chords and give them a little bit more of a human feel. So I'm going to randomize those velocities to start with, and let's add a bit of a strum. Starting to sound really nice. So now let's add in a simple bass line, and we're just going to follow the root notes here. What I like to do at this point, just to know if I've got something that is a vibe and could be turned into a full track and sent out for a collab, I'm going to add some drums. Now these might not be the drums that the track ends up having. These are just going to indicate to me whether this idea that I've got that we've put down in these last 5 minutes is something worth following on for, because the drums kind of bring the track alive. So let's start adding some drums in. So just put in there a really simple kick and snare pattern. And now let's go in with our hi-hat as well. So that is sounding super nice. At this point, what I'd normally do is get out the guitar and start trying to lay down some really simple guitar ideas on top of this. So just recorded those two guitar lines as you've just seen, and I think this is sounding great. I don't necessarily have anyone in mind for this track. I just wanted to show you guys how I would jump in and sort of come up with a loop. And from here, what I might do is arrange the track slightly so we get a little bit of an intro. Maybe something like this. And I think this just gives the other producer a good idea of what I'm kind of going for. So what I might do from here is export this out as stems and send this out to another producer, see if they wanted to work on this track together, and then I just send them the file and they can do whatever they want with it from there. That's pretty much it. I'll just play you here another example of one that I've been working on recently to send out to another artist. As you can see here, this other example is built more like a traditional song structure, but I'll just give you a little preview of the sample that I've been working on here. As you can see, this is how I go about building like little loops or samples or song ideas to send out to collaborators and hopefully work on tracks. If you watched one of my previous videos about my goals for 2024, you'll know that collaborations was one of the big goals that I set myself. And so it's something that I've been working on really hard this year, and it's something that I feel like I'm getting better at all the time. That's pretty much it from me today. Next week we'll be breaking down a brand new track that I'm releasing. See you in that video. Peace.